In a world full of constant notifications, open browser tabs, and endless meetings, one skill has quietly become both incredibly rare and incredibly valuable: the ability to focus without distraction on cognitively demanding work. Cal Newport calls this skill deep work, and it's also the title of his influential book. Newport's core argument is simple but urgent. The ability to concentrate intensely is becoming rarer at the exact moment it's becoming more valuable in our economy. Those who cultivate this skill and who make it central to their working life will thrive. Those who don't, Newport warns, risk being left behind, no matter how talented they are. Let's break down what deep work actually means and how to build more of it into your life. Idea 1. What deep work actually means. Newport defines deep work as professional activities performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that push your cognitive abilities to their limit. These efforts create new value, improve your skill, and are hard to replicate. He contrasts this with what he calls shallow work, logistical, low-concentration tasks like answering emails, attending routine meetings, or scrolling through messages. Shallow work isn't inherently bad, but Newport argues that most knowledge workers spend the majority of their day trapped in shallow work, leaving little to no time for the deep work that actually produces meaningful, high-value output. Idea 2. Why deep work is valuable. Newport points to two core abilities that matter more than almost any other skill in today's economy: the ability to quickly master hard, complex things, and the ability to produce at an elite level in terms of both quality and speed. Both of these abilities depend directly on deep work. Learning complex information requires intense, focused attention. Newport cites research suggesting that skill development happens through deliberate practice, which is fundamentally incompatible with distraction. And producing high-quality output faster than your competitors requires long, uninterrupted blocks of concentrated effort. In an economy increasingly built around complex, fast-changing technology, Newport argues these two abilities are becoming the primary drivers of professional success. Idea 3. Why deep work is rare. If deep work is so valuable, why do so few people actually practice it? Newport points to several cultural and business trends working against it. Open office plans and constant connectivity encourage a culture of quick responsiveness rather than sustained focus. Many workplaces reward visible busyness, replying quickly to emails, attending lots of meetings, because it's easier to measure than the actual quality of deep, invisible thinking. And the tools of shallow work, like social media and instant messaging, are deliberately designed to be habit-forming, pulling attention away from harder, more valuable work. Newport calls this combination of forces the reason deep work has become countercultural, even though it remains extremely valuable. Idea 4. Why deep work is meaningful. Beyond professional value, Newport argues deep work also contributes directly to a more meaningful and satisfying life. He draws on research in psychology showing that people report their highest levels of happiness and flow not during passive leisure, like watching television, but during periods of focused, challenging engagement with a task that stretches their abilities. Newport suggests that a life built around deep engagement with meaningful, difficult work tends to feel richer than one dominated by shallow, fragmented distraction, regardless of a person's specific profession or income level. Rule 1. Work deeply. Newport argues that deep work doesn't happen by accident. It requires deliberate rituals and routines. He outlines several strategies for building this into a work life, including choosing a clear philosophy for how you'll structure focus, such as dedicating specific days entirely to deep work or scheduling consistent daily blocks for it. He also emphasizes the importance of ritual, having a consistent location, time, and starting routine that signals to your brain it's time to enter a state of deep concentration. Removing friction and decision-making at the start of each deep work session, Newport argues, makes it far easier to actually begin and sustain focus. Rule 2. Embrace boredom. This might be the most counterintuitive rule in the book. Newport argues that the ability to concentrate is a trainable skill, much like a muscle, and that constantly reaching for your phone during any small moment of boredom actively weakens your capacity for sustained focus. He recommends deliberately scheduling short breaks from focus rather than breaks from distraction,
meaning you should plan specific times when checking your phone or browsing online is allowed and treat your rest of your time as genuinely offline. Over time, this trains your brain to tolerate boredom and resist the urge for constant stimulation, which in turn strengthens your ability to enter deep focus when you need it. Rule 3. Quit social media. Newport doesn't argue that all digital tools are harmful. Instead, he proposes what he calls the craftsman approach to selecting tools. Rather than adopting a new app or platform simply because it offers some possible benefit, he suggests evaluating tools based on whether their core essential benefits significantly outweigh their negative impacts on your ability to focus. Most people, he argues, adopt tools like social media without ever seriously auditing whether the benefits actually justify the very real costs to their attention and time. He encourages a structured 30-day trial. Quit optional digital tools entirely for a set period, then deliberately evaluate whether reintroducing them is genuinely worth it. Rule 4. Drain the shallows. The final rule is about protecting the time and energy deep work requires by ruthlessly limiting shallow, low-value tasks. Newport suggests scheduling every block of your day in advance, including shallow work, so that low-value work doesn't silently expand to fill all your available time. He also recommends becoming disciplined about saying no to low-value obligations, batching email responses instead of checking constantly, and having honest conversations with colleagues or supervisors about limiting unnecessary shallow demands on your schedule. The goal isn't to eliminate shallow work entirely, since some of it is unavoidable, but to consciously minimize it so that your best hours and energy are protected for the deep work that actually matters. Putting it together, attention residue. Newport also introduces the concept of attention residue. When you switch from one task to another, part of your attention remains stuck on the previous task, reducing your effectiveness on the new one. This is why constant task switching, jumping between emails, messages, and projects throughout the day, quietly damages overall productivity, even if each individual interruption feels brief. This concept reinforces why long, uninterrupted blocks of focused time are so much more valuable than the same total number of hours broken into fragmented pieces throughout a chaotic day. Conclusion. Newport's message throughout deep work is both a warning and an opportunity. In an economy full of constant distraction, the ability to focus deeply has become rare, which means those who deliberately build this skill gain a significant advantage, both in the quality of their work and in the satisfaction they find in doing it. Building a deep work practice isn't about occasional willpower. It's about designing your environment, routines, and habits so that focus becomes the default, not something you have to fight for every single day. If this summary was helpful, let me know in the comments which rule you think you need to apply the most. And if you enjoyed deep dive book breakdowns like this, make sure to subscribe.